Around a year ago, I took my marketing agency from making absolutely nothing every single month. I was sending cold emails, I was doing 150 to 200 cold calls a day and sending a ton of outbound DMs, to making over 10 grand in less than 2 weeks without sending an outbound DM, without sending a cold email, without making a single cold call. And in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how not only you can copy and do the same exact thing, but how you can make even more money than I did. You see, as people, we have something called a learning curve. And optimally, we want to shorten that learning curve as much as possible. Whether you have to shorten it with time or whether you have to shorten it with money, you want to shorten this learning curve so that you can take action quicker. And today I will help you shorten that learning curve just as I had to. Now, there are absolutely a million things that I could go over in today's video, but today I'm only going to cover a few. I'm going to talk about momentum and your mindset going into this, why you should optimize every single area of your life instead of just your business. Then you can also see I have the guru board here. I'm going to break down some actual tangible action steps and give you real advice and things that I'm currently doing today that you can implement inside your own business that will completely change your life. So the first thing I want to talk about is momentum. Many people think that success doesn't come overnight, and it absolutely does not come overnight until it does come overnight. A lot of people see the successful people and they're like, oh, this person just basically happened. It never just happens. You have to understand it never just happens. This person put in so much work before they actually found any result. You have to go through the years of seeing nothing and building up that momentum before you're able to actually see any sliver of success. I don't care, even if it's $1 into your bank account, you will make nothing for a long time. And that's completely okay. That's how it's supposed to be. But it's called momentum. It's all about the private victories. It's building up those victories in private, in secret, where nobody sees. You know, whenever you're in your room at 12 in the morning and you have to get this done. It's like, it doesn't matter how you feel, you have to get it done, no matter what. And that's what's going to build you into the person that's being able to deserve a successful business. And all the failures, all the things, because you will encounter them. But whenever you start to go on an upward spiral, you have to continue going. Because what a lot of people do is they start to see a little bit of success because they put their head down and they just go to work, which is absolutely great. It's what you have to do. But whenever you start to see something, it's very easy to get extremely comfortable. It's very easy to get complacent. And what you have to avoid is that complacency with all of your being. You have to run away from it because it will kill you. You have to just press harder on the gas whenever you start to see a little bit of anything. Press harder. Keep moving forward, keep making progress. That's the only way. Keep building that momentum. It's all about the victories that you win in secret when there's nobody. It's not about talking about it. It's not talking about what you did. It's not talking about, hey, I did this or I'm gonna do this. It's, hey, it's me and there's a ton of work to do. I have to build this process. I have to build this system. I have to manage this client. I have to do this for fulfillment. I have to get it done, and it doesn't matter how I feel. A lot of people get in the process of, hey, I'm gonna do this before I get to work, or hey, I'm gonna go on this amazing morning routine before I actually start my work, or I'm gonna get my coffee and then I'm gonna do my meditation and then read this book and then maybe go on a drive and then I'll feel good enough to get to work whenever I get to my desk. But that's the wrong way to think about it. You need to get to your desk immediately and do the work that needs done. It doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter, you know, what happened in your day. None of that matters. It's just time to show up and it's time to perform when it's time to perform. Nothing else matters. And so that's kind of the mindset you have to take on whenever you're first starting. And you're gonna have to go through the failures, you're gonna have to experience all of that. Believe me, I did. I went through a whole year of sending cold emails, tons of cold emails every single day, and getting no responses because I was a beginner. I mean, what do I expect people to just respond and book a call to somebody who doesn't have any case studies, any results, and is just a complete beginner? Absolutely not, which is why it never happened. And so if I would have taken that, if I would have been like, well, I'm doing X input and I'm not getting any output, this isn't working, I have to quit. If I would have done that, guess what? I never would be where I am today. I never would have the knowledge in my brain. I never would have met the people that I've met, networked with the people I've networked. I never would have done any of it if I stopped there. And so the failures aren't a bad thing. They're actually the best thing for you because it builds you into someone that's amazing. As you know the saying, pressure creates diamonds. And pressure, especially in any type of business ever, will create you into a diamond. And so you've heard it a million times. All you have to do is just try. It's like, do meaningful work. You know, sit down, and this is a productivity routine that will help you immensely more than you could ever know. And I talk about it in my free community. If you go to the description below, you can join for completely free. I'll show you how to implement this yourself and with a partner. But you want to find somebody who you can partner with. I call it an accountability partner. You've heard it a million times, I'm sure. What you want to do is you want to set a timer for an hour, and then you want to do 5 hours of work every single day. This is literally the equivalent of 10 hours of work that a normal person, a normal business does. And this is exactly what you need to get ahead of everyone. Because you're gonna sit down, you're gonna do your 5 hours of deep work. And that means you're focused on one thing and you're getting the task done for each hour. If you have 1 hour, you have to build out this, you build it out for that hour. And then the next hour you can focus on something else. It's this way of productivity that's gonna allow you to get the most done throughout your day. You just have to sit down and do the work. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb, turn the lights off in your room, put your headphones on, set the timer, get to work on whatever you need to do. Optimally, before that, you've written out an entire daily map, okay, of every single task that you need to do, every single thing that you wish to create throughout that day, and then you just express yourself, okay, via that daily map, right? So do all the steps that I showed you just then, and I promise you, your productivity will absolutely skyrocket, and it's so important, because if you're not doing this, then you're not trying. It's clear, you're not trying. And if you're not trying, you're not gonna get anywhere. Because all you have to do is just try super hard for a long time, and then eventually you'll see a little bit of success. And then you have to be disciplined enough to not take your foot off the gas when it comes to that point. And when I say put in meaningful work, I mean, don't be brainless, right? You have to perform. You can't afford to just be sluggish. This doesn't only come from optimizing every other area of your life that's not your business. You know, your health, eating right, making sure you're keeping a clean diet, making sure that your brain is functioning properly, because you can't afford to be sluggish. And the best way that you're gonna put in meaningful work is seeing it here first. Every single thing that I've ever done, this video that's being created, everything that I'm gonna show you on the board today, every single past video of mine, the community that I've built, every single ad that I've put out, everything, fulfillment structure, every single thing has been seen here first. It has to be seen in the mind first before it can be created. And that's not me telling you, hey, you need to manifest or you need to do this, because that's not the point. It's just that every single thing that was ever created that's actually good was seen in the brain first. And so if you can see it here, you can create it. And that belief is what's gonna propel you forward. Now, in the beginning of the video, I mentioned shortening your learning curve as much as you possibly can. And one of the best ways that you can do that is courses, programs, hiring a mentor. One of my first mentors, his name was Serge Guittari, is absolutely amazing mentorship. I learned so much from it, and it shortened my learning curve. And that's all that mattered. And it changed my life completely. I never would be speaking to this camera. I never would be inputting all the things that I'm doing right now. I just never would be doing it if I never partnered with someone. And it's not me telling you, hey, partner with me or partner with this guy. I'm not telling you to partner with anyone specifically. I'm just saying a lot of the things actually will help you, and they will genuinely change your life. It's so much better. If you could just pay X amount of dollars and learn so much faster, rather than just spending the 2 years learning it and now you're older, it's like you should do that every single time. I would make that investment every single time. So hiring a mentor, hiring a coach, partnering with somebody, entering a program is extremely worth it, because it will teach you so much. I remember literally being, not even having questions about how to set up a landing page. And it'd be like, can I say this here? And like, can I use this color? Or can I put this word here? And I literally had no idea on how to structure a landing page. And it's such a beginner question. Now it's obviously just like a no-brainer to me, and I know how to do it immediately. If I wouldn't have partnered with somebody, if I wouldn't have taken the time to be disciplined and diligent and actually learn about the things, I would still be in that place. And I never want to get to that place again. And it's not that I'm scared of doing the work. It's that I'm scared of staying that person who is worried about, hey, am I structuring the landing page in the right way? Like, what can I say in this ad? Is this copy okay? Like, how should I structure this? Or like, what do I need to, am I hiring the right person? It's like, I'm scared of being that guy. It's like, it's scary going forward and doing the work and becoming the person that's deserving of a successful business or just a business in general. That's scary, and it's gonna take a lot of work, and it's gonna cause a lot of fear in you. But the fear should be staying the person that you are now. It's like, I don't want to be that guy forever, and I know you don't either. So the only way is to move forward. All right, so the old way of running a marketing agency is as follows. So you're probably going to have very low ticket retainers, right? And it's gonna be extremely low ticket, meaning you're probably not gonna collect a lot of cash up front, and it's just recurring each month. Also, what you're probably doing is cold outreach. It's exactly what I was doing, and I was sending so many cold DMs each day, and I was doing so many cold calls, it was getting unbearable. I mean, I was just sitting down every single day and just doing my cold calls, and I was like, I don't want to do 150, 200 cold calls today. But I would have to trick my brain, and I'd be like, oh, let's just do 10. And guess what? By the end of the day, I'd made 150. And that's, when it comes to cold outreach, something like that, tricking your brain and just doing the outreach, setting the work block, and just doing the cold outreach, that is the most effective way to do it. And it does work. It does work, but I'm gonna show you a more effective way how to acquire clients today. In my free community, I teach you exactly how to do leveraged cold outreach. So cold outreach that actually works. I'm not talking about cold emails to people who never respond and who never book an appointment. I'm talking actual leveraged cold outreach that you can genuinely scale with appointment setters and talent. Next, you probably are just hiring like a really cheap media buyer, and then you're probably just selling Facebook ads. I hope you're not doing all of this because it's like very 2019, 2018, right? It's like really outdated. So by now, I think we've kind of caught up to where everyone knows this kind of like doesn't fly anymore. And so optimally, you're not doing this, and these people are probably like 0 to 30K a month, okay? And it's not gonna get much further than this unless they pivot how they actually run their business. Now, the thing that all this leads to is, for one, this leads to bad results, right? Because, I mean, they just hire a cheap media buyer, they don't really know what's going on in the fulfillment side of things. There's very little scalability because there's no genuine like package or systems, and they just don't get a lot of clients. So there's inconsistent appointments, right? It's extremely inconsistent. They have no content, right? There's no brand. There's nothing that's actually like good here. And so I'm gonna show you exactly, if this is your situation, how you can change it right now. And also just something extremely way better than this, okay? Now, what I think a lot of those agencies do is they put the cart before the horse in a lot of aspects, meaning they're focused on making money. And it's very interesting. It's this paradox because they're focused on making money, but they're not gonna make a ton of money. And what I want you to focus on is, instead of thinking about making a lot of money, which is a scarcity mindset, right? You're thinking very scarcely, and guess what? Nothing's ever created that's actually valuable or good out of scarcity. I want you to switch your mindset into actually thinking about, hey, how do I build something great? How do I build something amazing, better than all of the competitors in my market? How do I genuinely change my clients' lives? Then you start to begin to think in the correct way. You start to begin to get into abundance. Then you actually build something amazing. And so the first thing that I want to talk to you about is your offer, because it's the basis of, for one, our sales process, but where we're just going to start. And so the way I like to implement this is called the 7-figure Insight Architect offer. I'm not going to lie, your offer should be fairly scary, because ideally we want our offer to be so good that prospects basically beg to work with us, because it's as simple as, hey, his offer is so good. It's like he's attaching everything to my goal. It's like all I have to do is work with him in order to get here exactly where I want to be. And that is how we want to frame our offer. And it's going to be scary. But as Alex Hormozi says, I would rather have a fulfillment problem than a demand problem. Because if nobody wants your thing in the first place, you're not going to be fulfilling anything. So the first thing that we need for a 7-figure Insight Architect offer is, first, we need deep market insights. We need to know their pain points, and we need to know all of their desires. Because that's how we're going to frame all of our messaging and just our offer in the first place, and all of our content and everything. And our ads, we're going to use this right here, knowing their deepest desires and all of their pain points. Next, obviously, we want to analyze our competitors. We want to see what they're doing and what kind of offers are working, or what are they guaranteeing, right? And then we want to utilize that and reverse engineer what's already working instead of just trying to reinvent the wheel. The next thing is having a no-brainer guarantee. Basically, we want to guarantee them exactly what they want. So we take our deep market insights, knowing their pain points and desires, what do they genuinely want? And then we just promise them that. We promise them what they want based on our ideal client. So we're gonna leverage a no-brainer guarantee, and it's gonna get them to beg to work with us. Another thing I want you to understand is that you have to reverse the risk. And so obviously every single client is going to have, or prospect is gonna have, objections, right? And so you wanna make it as less risky as possible. So this could look like, or it's free, right? So refundable. This could be rev share. There are tons of different ways that you can reverse the risk, but you need to understand that in order to have a good offer, that you have to reverse the risk on the prospect and make it feel like, hey, I'm putting some work into this too. Like, you're not taking a ton of risk, okay? And so make sure you're implementing all this so that you actually have a good offer. You're not selling Facebook ads. You're not selling appointment setting. That's the way you become a commodity. But the way that you separate yourself from all the other people saying that, from the fluff of agency owners and businesses, coaching business, consulting businesses, is by selling the Rolex. If you look inside a watch, it has tons of different moving parts, tons of different mechanisms. But what I want you to understand is the reason people wear a Rolex is not because of those mechanisms. It's because it's Rolex. And if you can embody that same thing inside of your business, you will make a lot more money, a lot more. And it starts with also having a very good offer so that you can package everything and become the Rolex of a agency inside your business. So stop looking at it as in, I'm selling Facebook ads, I'm selling appointment setting, I'm selling an AI dialer. Look at it as, I'm selling them the thing that they need to get to their goal. And so then you begin to package as a Rolex. And so what I want you to understand is that you're not just giving them the service, but you're bridging the entire gap for them. You want to look at every single one of their bottlenecks. What's their offer like? Consult their product, lead generation, appointment setting, sales, show up rate, fulfillment, systems. There's a ton of different bottlenecks that every different niche has. And if the more that you can bridge this gap, the more power you have. The next thing that I want to speak about when it comes to creating your offer is just a unique mechanism. So you want something, it could be a model, something that you leverage yourself that you call something unique. It could be a unique name. As you saw, my offer protocol, I called it the Insight Architect Offer Framework. For any mechanism of your business, it could be the ad side of things, it could be sales, whatever you're consulting via their bottlenecks, you want to leverage a unique mechanism for yourself. A couple examples, you see some guys in the space, growth operating is a huge, unique mechanism. And then there's another one called info product operating. And there's just various different mechanisms that help their clients get to their thing. And it's basically just a model, right? And they're calling the model a unique name. And so that's exactly the thing that I want you to do as well. Inside your business, I want you to make sure that you're leveraging the same model so that then you become your own case study. And so you have a unique mechanism, you're utilizing the unique mechanism, and then you're also giving it to your clients so that they can leverage it as well, so that you're your own case study. And that is the best way that you can leverage this unique mechanism. So whenever you solve this many problems and you package your service and your product and your business in this way, you're able to charge a lot more money than you currently do. And inside my free community as well, I show you exactly how you can do this and how you can make a lot more money, changing your offer and charging a lot more money for it, while also delivering a lot better results at scale. The next thing that I want you to implement is the 7-figure Insight Architect acquisition flywheel. So we're talking inbound and outbound leveraged acquisition system. So obviously this could be paid ads and then some form of leveraged outbound that is actually performing, that is scalable. It could be outbound DM, it could be cold email if you got it really dialed. It could also be cold calling. The point is that we're utilizing leveraged acquisition to where we actually have everything dialed and clients are just coming to us. And so this is exactly what I did, and it's what I recommend that you do. If you spend $500 a month and go high level and you're very beginner, or you spend a ton of money on softwares, stop spending that money and run ads. Start running ads. You can spend $20 a day plus. If you have the budget for it and you can just utilize the money somewhere else, start running ads. I was cold calling every single day. I was sending a ton of cold emails. I was doing so much, fighting an uphill battle. And it never changed until I started running ads. And then I was able to get some leverage. Clients were coming to me, and then all I did was optimize the machine after it was built. So if you can do that and you have the budget for it, I highly recommend that you do that ASAP. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you is the content infrastructure. And the way that I basically think about this is this is the one thing that's going to allow people to input energy before meeting with you. You see, a lot of you probably hop on sales calls and it's super cold, meaning there's a lot of friction, and therefore it's going to be a lot harder to charge them a lot of money, and it's just going to be harder to close in general. Now, a way that we're going to change this is by implementing the content infrastructure. We start with 3 pieces of content. First is a long form VSL breakdown of everything, obviously changing their beliefs. The next 2 assets are going to be mechanism breakdowns. Could be a video like this, could be lucid chart and using Google Docs. You want 2 of those, and then you want to continuously adapt and improvise and create new pieces of content every single week. Optimally, you want 2 to 3 pieces of content out a week. And basically, your goal is to give as much value to these people as possible. Because if you do not have content, I promise you're going to get left behind, because you need people to input energy into you, because it's all about investment. And the time investment before the monetary investment is extremely important. At Gym Launch, which is Alex Formosi's old agency, he would literally reschedule the call if the person who booked the meeting did not consume the resources that he sent them. And so these could be hours of resources. It could be just giving them a ton of value. Point is that you have those 3 assets created and that you've posted them all over YouTube. You've optimally optimized your Instagram profiles, Facebook, you're posting content on there daily. And so every single thing is optimized. And if you're running ads, that's going to help you immensely because it's going to give you some credibility and authority. This is the one thing that's going to 10x your business. Because before, Alex Hormozi was Alex Hormozi, who was just Jim Long. And before Iman Gaji was Iman Gaji, who was just his agency. But whenever you build that personal brand, and whenever you start creating that content, make sure it's high quality and it's very personalized and specialized in your market, you will 10x your business. You will make a lot more money, whilst also having significantly less friction in your sales process, being able to charge a ton more for what you do. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is fulfillment and how you can basically structure fulfillment to make you a lot more money, okay? And I call it the IDI fulfillment protocol. It's called an insight-driven infrastructure. And the main goal of this is to bridge the gap between all of their bottlenecks, okay? So where they are now and where do they want to be and how do they want to get there? And we want to bridge this entire gap and optimize as many bottlenecks of theirs as we can. So for each bottleneck, we take the system that solves the bottleneck, we solve the bottleneck via a system, we create a process around it, or an SOP, and then we outsource. When we take all of this, we package the delivery and the fulfillment and all the systems, we package it in order to maximize the scalability of the system and also to reduce the operational complexity. And so as I said, you're taking the system that solves the bottleneck, the process, and then placing a piece of talent. This could be in-house talent, talent in-house, or you could be placing the actual talent into their business. Now, once you've built all this, it's important that you're able to track all of the data, whether you're utilizing spreadsheets, whatever you're doing, you want to make sure that you're able to track the numbers, because if you don't know where the string is to pull to get you to where you want to be, you're just not going to be able to pull it, and therefore you're going to stay where you are, because you're only as good as your greatest bottleneck. Whether you're running ads, you need to know whether you're in KPI or not, you have to be able to track all the data coming in so that you're able to pull the right string in order to scale. Now, if you're just starting, I want to let you know that you're probably going to encounter a ton of failure. You're probably going to encounter a ton of setbacks, but that's okay. It's exactly how it's supposed to be. I was watching a podcast from a man that's super big in this industry named Joel Kaplan, and he was saying that we're basically normalized having to be perfect. And so why don't we just normalize saying, hey, you're gonna start this thing and you're gonna do it 5 times, but you're gonna fail every single time. And maybe on the 6th try, on the 7th try, maybe then you will succeed. But I'm telling you, the failures and the setbacks are absolutely needed. And if you wanna join the free community that I've created absolutely for you and your success to get your next 7 clients in the next 60 days completely guaranteed, go ahead and join that community. I will show you how to build every single thing that I went over today for completely free. Remember, everything that you're doing right now is going to build you into something great and someone who you've always been meant to be. And odds are the work that you are doing right now, you don't even know who it's building you into, and you don't even know what it's for and what it's creating.